Hello. Is this thing even on right now? Chat, you need to tell me if something is wrong because I couldn't test my stream properly. It is on. Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Only a super slight 20 minutes of absolute stress panicking before stream, but that's totally fine. Yeah, totally fine. I'm not at all sweating and need to take a second shower. Definitely not. It turns out that my microphone needed to be re-added to OBS again. Don't ask me why, because I can't explain why, but my mic needed to be re-added to OBS. Everything else didn't work. Flipping between monitoring on and off, changing the channel, doing all the stuff, none of it worked. So, hi everyone. Hello everyone. Yost and Jay Walter, thanks for hanging out in my chat so early. And of course, congratulations, Jay Walter, on being first. And Steffi, as usual, not first. Thank you, Renato, for sending good vibes my way. I certainly needed them. 15 messages were deleted by a moderator.
Why?
Who? What? Did someone come in here and try and spam? What? That's weird. Moderator. No one else is mod here. Interesting. Hi, Techie Girl. Hi, Cat. 4X. J. Walter, Yost, Steffi. Good to see all of you. Willow. Hello. Exo Willow. Exo Willow. Are you in any way related to Exo Mia Moore? I think we discussed this a while ago. Oh, sync. Yes, that's a very good point. Thank you very much for reminding me. What was the sync? I think it was 100. I think it was 100. Why did Matty Teachers have to re-add his mic to OBS? Wrong answers only, because his mic was feeling left out and refused to work unless it was given attention. Could have been Seribot. Did someone post something rude? I don't know. I don't know. Techie, is it better now, Techie Girl? Because he switched to a different language and needed a new mic. Ooh, one microphone per language. Yeah. So I re-added it. It's the same. Interesting. I don't remember what it was before. I added 100 milliseconds, so...
Garbage.
It could have been a bot. Could have been a bot. In theory. I would have to watch my own stream now. Hold on a second. Let's open up the stream and have a listen. Let's open up the stream and have a listen. It looks better, but still off. Interesting. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, that actually doesn't look so bad. Oh, that actually doesn't look so bad. Oh, that actually doesn't look so bad. How far is the audio off? How far is the audio off? How far is the audio off? That's pretty close, no? Maybe 150? It's strange though. I mean, the interface should have the same delay as before. Jay Walter was first and got timed out. That'll delete the messages. Oh, that's what it was. Right. Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, thank you for telling me, Techie Girl, about that. Yeah. Always a risk. When you have to... whatever. It will just be a scuffed stream. It's just the way it is. And if I need to move the entire audio timeline afterwards in DaVinci Resolve, I shall do so. In the meantime, welcome to all of you. Welcome to this special Monday edition of the Data Cafe. The reason being that we didn't stream on Friday, or I didn't stream on Friday, you weren't here. So, yeah. I couldn't do the Data Cafe on Friday. Exactly. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about the lights. Crap, I'll never be able to win Community Member of the Year. Is that true, Jay Walter? Why would you not be able to?
Why?
Why would you not be able to? Because you've never been timed out, or what? Being timed out is not a criteria for winning the thing. You know? Just saying. Like, just because you get timed out doesn't mean you can't win. Just to be clear. All those deleted messages can't be good. That's true. I did not put a cooldown on the 90 command for the lights, but I trust chat to use your best judgment. Let's put it like that. So yeah, we're here on a Monday doing a Data Cafe stream, which is very strange. Very, very strange, actually. Never trust chat. True. I should have known better. Look, everything is messed up because I also have a different water bottle today. This is the reason why stream messed up, because I don't have my traditional water bottle. This is the entire reason for that. This is the sole reason why nothing was working. Have you confirmed your FC Bayern Munich jersey size? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I did. I was very surprised that I will be getting a jersey, but there you go. I mean, I'm not a football fan. That's the whole thing is very ironic, 4X. So here, for all of you who are unawares of what's happening, at the end of June, I'm going to Munich. I'm going for an event called Measure Camp, and it's being held in the stadium. Oh, the lights in the background are not on. Why didn't anyone say anything? They're completely off. Why didn't anyone say anything? They're completely off. There's no ambience. It's like streaming in a dark room. What is this? No one says anything about my stream anymore. This is horrible. What kind of stream is this? Let's do today. We're gonna do this one. I thought they were set to dark brown. Okay, fine. How are we supposed to know that those are supposed to be lights? Well, if you ever watched my stream, then you would know that behind me there are lights. You know? That's kind of how it works. So yeah. Anyway. We thought it's a green screen. What? You did not! It's not a green screen. You know it's not a green screen. I've touched it before. Look, Chad. I have an extra long audio cable. Not a green screen. I use the Hue bulbs, Techie Girl. And you cannot touch a green screen. Yeah, but it would move. It would move. What are you talking about? It would move if it was a green screen. I totally thought it was a green screen, but I'm not a veteran watcher of the stream. Fair enough, Wilder Hives. Fair enough. It is not a green screen. It is... It is two Hue bulbs that are set up in a scene together, and they make this dispersion effect because the wall is white. It is not a wall painted green. It is a concrete wall that is painted white, like the rest of the apartment. And I was not touching it gently. I was very, very forceful in touching, I promise. I was very forceful with the wall. That being said, there is something that's green. It's the background of my desktop. And do you know why it's green, chat? Do you know why? Do you know why my background is green? It's so that I can send you It's so I can send you.
Garbage.
Maybe you can add info about it in the stream about section. Wait, my profile on Twitch? Is there an about section? In the about section. It's not a green screen. We could just add a line that says it's not a green screen. Yeah, or in the setup section. I actually I have to do some major overhaul to the setup section. I actually want to have I want to be adding a gear page to the website. And I want to add a users page. So I don't know if you're all familiar with that, but there's like this /users thing. I don't know if anyone knows about that. But I also want a /gear page. And this is the real stream. You are currently watching the live stream. Luckily, this is the real stream. It could be far worse. Could be much worse. Anyway, chat. So, after that amazing beginning, I told my husband I want a KVM switch for Mother's Day, and he was like a deer in the headlights. Wilder, is that because he didn't know what a KVM switch was? Or because he didn't know how to get one in time for you? That's quite a wish, though. That's quite a demand for Mother's Day. Do you think your husband is still going to be able to get one in time? Because I'm sure that all husbands out there and partners are looking right now for KVM switches for their partners, because for Mother's Day and all the sons and daughters, like everyone around the world is searching madly for KVM switches. So it's going to be really difficult for him to get a hold of one in time for Mother's Day. I think that might be that's going to be a big challenge. Give a mom what she really wants. A KVM switch. All moms want a KVM switch. It's just the traditional Mother's Day gift. Your next short? I just saved that as a backtrack clip because I'm sure I'm going to put this one up as a backtrack clip. It didn't save it as a backtrack. What? Oh no. Wait. Hold on. That's not good. I wanted to save it as a backtrack. Backtrack clip. Oh no. Why is it not working? No! Why isn't it saving? Oh no. Unspecified error. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, this is bad. No! I wanted this as a clip.
Garbage.
I wanted this as a vertical clip. Now we have to do it again. When should we tell him the music isn't audible? It's very low, the music. What are you talking about? Of course there's music. Don't be ridiculous, chat. How can I solve this now? I need to solve my vertical thing. I can prove to you that there's music, chat, okay? Fine. You want to troll me? Fine, troll me. Let's go into this. I'm gonna go into my stream, and I'm gonna listen. And I'm gonna listen. And I'm gonna listen. Oh no. You're right, it's off. Why is there no audio? Why is there no audio for the stream? I hear the music. That's the most important thing. I know why it is. I know why it is. And that's really gonna be annoying. That's really gonna be annoying. You should be hearing music right about now. Hello, Rugmat. Yeah, I didn't have the music on track 1. So that's the reason why you weren't hearing any music. You hear death metal. Oh, this would be fun. Include different music tracks on different tracks, and then like get people to watch the stream with different music tracks. I've actually looked into multi-track live streaming for a completely different reason. I went on some huge tangent on the weekend looking that up. Trust me, you don't want to go down that route. It's like a huge rabbit hole of audio stuff.
Garbage.
I can blame everything on the proton shower and incoming CME from the sun. Wow, CME? What the heck is that? That sounds nasty, though. Sounds really nasty. Isn't there 2 tracks already? Left ear death metal, right ear flutes? I mean, in theory, I could put nice music left and, like, rough music right, and then you have to choose which side of you wanna, you know? Oh, is that just a magnetic thing, Wilder? By the way, I think I missed a message in chat earlier. Hold on a second. I think I missed a message in chat. Yost, did you say something about booking a flight? Did you say something about booking a flight? I'm pretty sure you did. Did you book a flight to somewhere? Where did you book to? Where are you going? You booked tickets to China. Oh, nice. Cool. I guess that's a good sign. But wait, are you coming back? Multiple times because I felt insecure. Okay, so the vertical thing is not working. Let's just try again. Make a backtrack, please. No, that doesn't work. Make a backtrack. So vertical is not working, probably because of some setting thing. I know I had this last time. ProRes. Let's just go back to this. Let's try again. Did it make one? Nope. I'm trying to make a backtrack, chat, and it's not working. You know what? I give up on that. But I wanted to make shorts from today. I needed motivation to finish the visa application. Thank you for noticing. Wonderful. J. Walter landing with 15 and J. Walter's bot landing with 9. That is totally not rigged at all. Should we get started? It's like 9:45. Should we get started, chat? What do you think? I don't think I'm going to fix the vertical thing. I might just have to make shorts on my own. I might just have to make a short on my own tomorrow or something. What if I say use main OBS settings? And now, backtrack. Nope.
Garbage.
An unspecified error occurred while recording. The selected color format is not supported by the selected Apple VT encoder. That is absolute garbage indeed. Yeah, it needs to like reinitialize or something. I don't know how to do that. Let's just go to a different thing.
Read the chat and wrap it up, or just read the chat and wrap it up.
If I change this, what if I change this? Sorry, I'm just changing stuff around to see if... Oh, that was set to software.
Don't be suspicious. 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 Don't be suspicious.
John Ralphio?
Use stream encoder. Okay. No. An unspecified error occurred while recording. The selected color format is not available. Yeah, there's some weird bug with color format stuff, and I have no idea how to fix it. In the meantime, chat, let's get started. Let's get started, because it's already 9:45. And guess what? I need to go into the office tomorrow morning. So, let's start things off with the meme of the day. How many of you have fallen into this trap? Are you streaming in AV1? No, I'm not. Twitch does not support AV1 streaming. Yet, apparently. This is the problem, I'll show you. So no matter what you do here, I could set Apple VT264 hardware encoder, CBR 6002 seconds. This is for the vertical plugin, right? And when I do backtrack, it just doesn't do anything. There's no file here, see? No file. And when I click recording, this is the error I get. An unspecified error occurred while recording. The selected color format is not supported by the selected Apple VT encoder. This is some weird bug that happens... I don't know exactly why it happens with OBS, but this happens, and the only way to get rid of it is to restart OBS. Which I'm not going to do now, because I will crash my stream, and we've done that enough for today. So, yeah. What we are going to do is we're going to continue with the Data Cafe. Settings Advanced does not have any color formats. It does... it has these ones, but you cannot change them during streaming. I read a nice article yesterday about how people are going back from serverless to monoliths, or how to save 90% of the cost. I think we probably read the same article, Forex. It's not super related to data in that sense, but from an architectural point of view of building stuff, it's very interesting. I think it was because Amazon basically said they're not using microservices anymore with serverless, and they're doing an entire thing with monolith. So yeah, this is the problem. This is all standard, which is very strange, and it just happens sometimes. Fortunately, Adam's Discord is very helpful. And if I post the error, I'm sure that someone will tell me how to fix it. But I can just restart OBS in the same amount of time. So today's meme, that was one specific service that was re-architected. Yeah, that's true. Why would a fly land on something like this? This is a reference to a Venus flytrap. Rats should be ashamed for falling in this trap. That's a mouse trap. Bears, this is ridiculous. As if bears should be surprised about bear traps. And then there's a sign with the AWS free tier. This must be fun. Rugman, you're still on the AWS free tier. For now. For now. For now. That is the key. That's the key phrase here, isn't it, chat? For now. Yeah. For now. I guess
Garbage.
there's not really much I can do about the vertical recording now without killing OBS, which I don't want to do. Anyway, chat. So it is time to start off the Data Cafe. And you may be asking yourself, well, what is on the agenda for today? So here you go. We are going to start out with privacy and ethics. As usual, we go through several different sections of news. And I've divided all the articles into sections. And if you're listening here and you're wondering, oh, I just want to get all the links to the stuff that you discuss in the stream and I don't want to watch your stream, like if you're watching this on YouTube or something, you can just go to Patreon and find the stream recap for today, the 8th of May, 2023. And it will be posted usually within 2 or 3 days. But if you're watching this afterwards, then, well, you are in luck because it's already posted. And for free, you can read all the links from the stream. You can get all the information of all the links we discussed on the stream. For those of you watching live, you do have to wait and experience it. Or you can leave. Of course, you can leave and just go read the Patreon. It's totally up to you. And the thing is, if you follow on Patreon, you can even get it by email. So you don't have to keep asking yourself, oh, when is Maddie going to post? When is Maddie going to post the Patreon stream recap? Because sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's immediate, whatever. You love the meme? Thank you, Ginny. Welcome back. Good to see you. AWS also makes sense when you get a 90% discount as a corporation for a few years because you're switching from a competitor. Yeah, of course, if they offer like very competitive discount. Wait, so you're saying I don't need to watch your garbage? Yes, Steffi, that's correct. None of you need to be here. None of you have to be here if you do not want to be. It is entirely optional. Watching my stream is 100% optional. Goodbye, Steffi. Have a nice afternoon, evening. I guess it's evening for you. It's already evening, isn't it? So should we get started? You're just here for the garbage lady. The same time as for you, man. It's the same time as for you, woman. I shitposted on LinkedIn and it didn't do very well. You can only shitpost on Twitter. That's the learning.
Garbage.
Wow, that was quite the sneeze. So it wouldn't be a Data Cafe episode if we weren't talking about Meta. If we weren't talking about Meta or TikTok. One of the two. They have to come up at some point in the news because there's always something to say about these two companies in regards to privacy. And today's news is actually old news that has resurfaced again. That if you are a Facebook user, you may be entitled to your portion of the $725 million lawsuit that Meta settled for. So here we go. You can now apply for your share of the $725 million privacy lawsuit settlement if you had an account from May 2007 to December 2022 on Facebook. To apply for funds, you can apply online or mail your forms in by August 25th. So all of you could potentially get money. So there's this submit claim thing. Of course, I think you need to be American. Although, no, I could also be from Trinidad and Tobago.
Garbage.
Did you reside in the United States at any time between May 24, 2007 and December 22nd, 2022 inclusive? If I say yes here just to get money, is that fraud? It is, right? Probably is. This is cool. This is pretty nice. I hereby swear under penalty of perjury that I'm the person identified above and the information is true and correct. Yeah, it's probably perjury. They can probably check it. Reside? I mean, I have been there. What does reside mean? I have been to the US in that time frame. Yeah, I mean, what does reside mean? I mean, technically, if you went on Facebook while you were in the US, you would technically qualify for this. You know? Enter at least one of the email addresses, phone numbers, and/or usernames associated with your Facebook account between May 24, 2007 and December 20. Each settlement class member may only file one claim. Reside is not a vacation and not a business trip. But Ginny was there for 2 years. It's a long time. Anyway, you are potentially entitled to part of this claim. I don't know what the amount is. But if 87 million users were accessed and they did 725 million settlement, and that's like $8 a person, I guess you may be entitled to $8 from Facebook. Anyway, much more exciting. Much more exciting is, never mind the stuff they've done. Let's stop them from doing anything in the future. The FTC has actually proposed a blanket prohibition on Facebook on monetizing youth data. That's true, Wilder. Do they split it between those who apply? Because 87 million people won't apply. That's a good question. That is a very good question. I don't know, actually. Don't forget the lawyer's cut. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so take off 20%, because the lawyers are probably going to take like 20% on this. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. I don't know how it works. Anyway, so the FTC has proposed something that says they want to protect children and teens better. So this is what they want to do. Apparently, in 2020, the FTC made changes, or they proposed changes, saying that Facebook has failed to comply with the order that they originally made, misleading parents about their ability to control with whom their children communicated through its Messenger Kids app. So I didn't even know this, but apparently Facebook has an individual version of their Messenger app for kids that gives parents some kind of access to it. I don't know exactly how that works. Surveillance helicopter parents. Excuse me. Anyway, Facebook has repeatedly violated its privacy promises. I mean, nobody's really surprised there by that. The company's recklessness has put young users at risk, and Facebook needs to answer for its failures. So proposed changes. Prohibited from profiting from data that it collects from users under the age of 18. So would no longer be able to use any of the data from users under 18 in any way possible to generate revenue. It would also be subject to other expanded limitations, including its use of facial recognition technology, and required to provide additional protection for users. That's a good thing. By the way, this is the third time that the FTC has taken action against Facebook for allegedly failing to protect users' privacy. I think 3 is probably not the amount of times that they have infringed users' privacy. I think 3 is just the amount of times that the FTC has taken action. The real number of how many times Facebook has actually disregarded privacy of its users is probably a gazillion more times than 3. Over 9,000. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, in 2020, they were ordered to pay a $5 billion civil penalty, by the way. I don't know if you realize how much they've paid in fines until now. It is absolutely incredible. It's like incredible how much money Facebook has paid in fines. Like, does it work out for them as like a business case? Like, they make so much money through ads and stuff, but then they have to pay so much money in fines. Like, I'm just wondering, like, how do those two things equate, you know? I don't know. It seems like it wouldn't really work out in their favor. Change the business model. You mean close the company? I think their business model is we pay fines. I think it's just like how they operate. So yes, apparently this is the proposed changes. This would apply to Facebook and Meta's other services, so Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus as well. Blanket prohibition against monetizing data of children and teens under 18. Pause on the launch of new products and services without written confirmation that its privacy program is in full compliance. Wow. Extension of compliance to merge companies. Limits on future uses of facial recognition technology. Would be required to disclose and obtain users' affirmative consent for any future uses of facial recognition technology. The change would expand the limits on use of facial included in the 2020 order. Strengthening existing requirements. Third-party monitoring, data inventory, access controls, employee training, blah, blah, blah. Include its own violations of its commitments. Basically, this is FTC saying, you've been very bad and we don't trust you anymore at all. So this is what we're going to try and get you to do. The thing is that I don't know how this gets enforced. The Commission's issuance of its order to show cause marks the beginning of a proceeding in which Meta will have an opportunity to respond. After carefully considering the facts and any arguments, the commissions will ultimately determine whether modification of the 2020 order is in the public interest or justified by changed conditions of fact or law. How much power does the FTC really have? Do they have a lot of power? Like, can they actually force them to comply with this? I'm wondering. I'm wondering how much power they have. Well, we will see. We will ultimately see. This was May 3rd, so this was just 5 days ago, which means they have, I don't know, 30 days to respond or something. Yeah, they have 30 days to respond. So probably in the next Data Cafe episode, 2 weeks from now, we'll be able to say what happened. Before we get to the next article, I would love to know if anyone can guess what it's about. It's about TikTok.
Garbage.
It's not about garbage. It's about TikTok. And there was a concern that I raised around 3 or 4 months ago, based on an article that I read about TikTok, that I said, if this is true, it is evidence for the fact that this company is nefarious. Like, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that if this is true, it means that the company is pure evil, that it's controlled by people who have no other intention than tracking the crap out of everyone on the planet for whatever nefarious purposes that they have in mind for that data, whether it's monetizing it, whether it's selling it to someone else. It's just it's just ultimate proof that they will go to whatever lengths possible, like Facebook, yes, but controlled by a state entity. It would just be proof that they would stop at nothing. And that case that I talked about was the suspicion that TikTok was spying on US journalists, that TikTok was attempting to hack into US journalists' phones using data that they had gotten from the app. And now there is proof. A UK journalist was tracked from TikTok via her cat's account. And if you don't believe me, this has been corroborated. This has been corroborated by multiple independent sources by now. 2 days before Christmas, TikTok called London-based journalist Christina Criddle to tell her 2 of its employees in China and 2 in the US had viewed user data from her personal account without her knowledge or consent. This is the reason of why we cannot trust any of these companies, not just TikTok. Any of these corporate social media platforms are all bad, all of them. Members of its internal audit department looked at the location of Christina's IP address and compared it with IP data of an unknown number of their own staff to try to establish who was secretly meeting with the press. Now, if that's not bad, I don't know what is. They misused their authority to do this and were acting unauthorized. Did you hear about the eBay thing? No, I did not. Christina does not know for how long she was tracked or how often, but she does know it happened last summer. Cue the I know what you did last summer thing. This is very bad because journalists should be afforded some level of protection about, the fact that they speak to confidential sources, they report on things that are potentially dangerous for them to report on, that people don't want coming out. Like, this is a real problem. This is a threat to transparency of information. Christina's TikTok account was on her personal mobile handset and in the name of her cat, Buffy. Her own name and occupation were not mentioned in the bio. She had about 170 followers and over 3 years had uploaded about 20 videos of Buffy, viewed on average a couple of 100 times. Like most social media networks, TikTok collects quite a lot of information, location data, likes, device being used. Western users' data is never accessed or stored inside China, and the staff responsible for the data breach of Christina and a handful of other Western journalists were fired for misconduct. So here's the evidence. Black and white, here it is, that them saying that the suspicion that Western journalists were being monitored by TikTok is true. It's that simple. A threat to freedom of press. Exactly, Steffi. Might need a trigger warning, but basically an easing-type site run by a Midwest US couple were harassed in terrifying ways at the direction of eBay CEO. Oh, wow. That sounds horrible. TikTok apparently deeply regrets this, air quotes. Last summer, Christina had been talking to TikTok. So this is the thing, chat. If you're saying to yourself, well, they had no intention, like what happened was completely, it was completely by chance. Those employees just did that for whatever reason, and we'll never know why that was. And it was definitely not at the direction of the company. Well, here's the kicker, chat. Christina had been talking to TikTok staff unhappy with company practices. The data breach had failed to identify her sources. So you're telling me, this is the summary of the situation. A British journalist who had a TikTok account in the name of her cat was tracked by the company where she had been speaking to employees that were not happy with company practices. I don't know how many red flags you need, chat, to see what's happening here. But this is not a big jump to assume that those employees were ordered to do so, and when they were found out, they were fired. Like, I don't know how much clearer this could be. Someone had to do the investigation, and it wasn't going to be some manager who ordered it from up top. It was going to be some low-level employee who they can dispense of afterwards under the guise of, oh, these people acted on their own accord. It wasn't in line with company policy, blah, blah, blah. So this is bad. This is bad because it could happen again. And that's the problem. This was probably ordered from up top. And so it could probably happen again, or it's even happening again. We don't know about it. That's the problem. Cybersecurity expert said this level of tracking cannot be described as accidental or even incidental. Someone had to do some extra digging to work out that the cat account was in fact Christina. They would have gotten fired regardless. If they said no, they would have been fired for not doing the work. That's very true, Steffi. If they had refused to do it, they probably would have been fired anyway. So I guess they just sort of banked on the fact that they wouldn't be found out. It's a bit strange. TikTok is fighting survival in the US, and there's restricted access to it on official devices in several other countries. ByteDance is headquartered in Beijing, although it has offices in Europe and the US. There are concerns it could share Western users' data with the Chinese state if requested. Nevertheless, it remains wildly popular with more than 3.5 billion downloads. Billion. 3.5 billion. So there you go. It's true. It's absolutely true. What they were saying is 100% true. And that is the reason why I will not touch this app. Like all the other social media apps, I refuse to install them on my device. At least on the desktop, I can control which websites I visit and what those websites do. On a mobile device, I have much less control. So that is the reason for me being so skeptical of those practices. And now it's come out that it's true. Like I said, if we had run a prediction chat, I would have just won a ton of channel points. So the last thing in regards to privacy and ethics is a very exciting thing. Apparently, we will not need passwords anymore, chat. How many of you remember all of your passwords yourself? I'm curious. Don't write your passwords in chat. just so we're clear on this, do not write your passwords in chat, okay? Thank you, Steffi. I forgot the password to my password manager. But do all of you use the same password for everywhere? Because that's very bad if you do that. On mobile, you can use Kiwi Browser, which supports full Chrome plugins, and then put uBlock there. The thing is, Forex, if you install apps, right? If you install social media apps on your phone, it's very difficult to regulate what they do. You need some system level thing then on top of that. You can do it. It's just very inhibitive. It's very inhibitive. And the thing is, I don't need social media apps. I don't need them. I have, I think the most social app I have on my phone is probably Patreon, the app, if anything. I use Rugmat's 1Password account. Oh, okay. Good for you. Oh, yeah, Discord. I guess Discord's on there, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Should we go through my apps, chat? I wonder what apps I have. What is the most social app that I have? Let's see. Let's see.
Why?
Nope, I have random keywords and numbers, so it is pretty easy to remember them. Okay, Kat, so you don't use a password manager. Going back to the TikTok thing, why is it a cat's account? Just because she posts cat videos instead of cat lady videos. It's still her device. Yeah, no, that's the problem, is that they had to do some pretty extensive forensics to figure out. So what Ginny is talking about is this, right? Like, to figure out that this UK journalist, that was her phone, they needed to go, like, they needed to do some hardcore digging in the data that they have. about the various accounts. I don't know exactly how they did that, but that's proper like data forensic work, okay? To do that. To identify a user that isn't identifying themselves in your app, that takes some serious data forensics. At least the work passwords, now they can do my work. Yeah, true, Rugmat. LastPass got breached, so you can easily now just sit back and relax and let people do the work for you. Use a browser for all social networks. I don't install apps. Yeah, I do the same, Forex, except for Discord. So I have Discord on my phone. Discord. I have Messenger Lite, which is Facebook's Messenger, but it's like the version for what's it called? It's the version for non-first world countries that has like basically nothing in it. I assume there's still some level of tracking in it, but I basically don't use it. What else have I got on here? Yeah, Patreon, PlayStation app, Slack, not really a social network. SoundCloud, I suppose, has a social network part to it. Twitch app, WhatsApp, YouTube Studio. That's basically it. Presumably still her name on the account and card bills. That's the thing, Ginny. Like what kind of invoices would she have for TikTok? It's completely for free. She had an app that was posting 20 videos in 3 years. So there wasn't a lot of data points either. They had to do like a lot. They had to do a lot of research, I think, to figure out that this was her account. That's the point. Fridges? Funny story. I think a tech influencer on TikTok deleted comments I left criticizing their video, claiming that apps listen to you at any time and show you ads based on what you say. That's been disproven a lot. Yeah, that's true. People think it's true that social networks listen to you, but it's been proven many times that it's not the case. It's a combination of factors that makes people think that they're listening. There are some very weird coincidences that happen a lot, but they've tested it at length. They've looked at the data being sent. They looked at everything. I was pretty polite. I said they have enough other signals. Yes, that's exactly the point. They have enough other signals. And if they don't have the signals, they have basically guessing. And their guesses are basically 50% right, 50% wrong. So for half the people, it's creepy. And for half, they're like, oh, whatever, it's wrong ad. I was asking if the Messenger Lite app was the one used on smart fridges. I don't know, actually. It's just called Lite. I'm on Android, but yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing. Google's rolling out passkeys. So passkeys are a password replacement. So you can actually go turn it on yourself if you want to. They use similar audiences as more effective than listening to someone. Yeah, absolutely. Way less expensive. Yes, so Apple started with the passkeys and now Google is rolling out with the passkeys. But it's a big deal that Google's doing it because a lot of people have Google accounts. Given that there's the whole enterprise environment with Google, and like the whole, software suite and Google's tools and all that stuff, Google Cloud, etc. This is quite a big deal that Google's doing this. So basically everyone knows what a password is, but what is a passkey? A passkey is a cryptographic hash exchange. Now, I don't know details about this, but basically a passkey is an equivalent to something like a fingerprint or face scan. It is that safe. You basically say, log in with my passkey, and that's it. And apparently, so you can sync them through Google's password manager and keychain. However, even if they get So even if they get, even if your Google account was compromised, apparently they cannot use your passkeys, which is kind of interesting. Nothing like giving one company all the keys and then losing the account. Well, that's the problem, right? You have to be careful now, because if you lose all your passwords, resetting them with a passkey mechanism might be a lot more difficulty. What is really cool, though, is this. You can store a passkey for your account on the device of someone else that you trust as a recovery option. So my solution for this is going to be this. Oh, ads. No, I'm looking in the wrong place. Sorry, we have ads. We're taking a short minute break. we're taking a 3-minute break, chat, and we'll be right back. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I really am. I put the window in a different place now. I'm very sorry. We'll be back in 3 minutes, okay? I promise.
Garbage.
Creeping on my stream, yo. Creeping around.
I mean,
Why? What's happening? Why have you done this?
I don't know, Maddie.
No! Why have you why have you done this? You're not supposed to watch this anymore.
We've gone too deep.
No.
I don't know.
It's so deep now. It's like 8 levels. Maddie, do you put the fun in funnel? You ready?
Garbage.
We're going to be doing something. Is there a category for that, or is it just Doom? Yeah, just change it. Change to the Doom category, and when someone asks you what you're doing, say, "I'm doing my taxes." Need a new shirt that says "Taxes are hard." Yeah, I'll reach out to Evan and Caitlin, see if they can do a "Taxes are hard" shirt. What other stuff do we need? Do we need? Oh well. To find.
I'm so excited. Next week I'm going to dig up the time capsule I buried as a kid. I can't wait to see how big my puppy got.
Oh no, Karen. Oh no. Oh, Karen. That's not that's not how that works. Big oof. Big oof. 3, 2, 1. Meme of the day. Meme of the day. Oh. Why would you do this? Now no one can see me. Bad cop, come on. Okay, it's not a video. Wait, what? What does this even mean? Warheads, sour, chewy cubes. What does this mean? I'm so confused. I'm legitimately confused about this. Right join is the best join. I hope you're happy. If you look here, you'll see there's a category, and I will be changing that category as we move through the different topics today. There will be 3 or 4 different categories. So as you can see, we are going to cover, first we're going to cover a little bit of... Gosh. First, we're going to cover a little bit of garbage. Meme of the day. There are two approaches to GA4. Yes, there are always two approaches. I actually have a video for you today, chat. If you stick around to the end, we're going to be watching a short video about Google Analytics 4 that's been making the rounds because it is absolutely amazing. But let's dive back in about passkeys. So this particular thing here, like you can even store a passkey for your account on the device of someone you trust as a recovery option. This could be your own device, but it doesn't have to be a device that you use regularly. So what you could do, for example, let's say you have a laptop, okay? You have a laptop that you use. This is a beautiful laptop, by the way, okay? Here's the charging cable. So you have a laptop. This is your primary machine, okay? Then you have your mobile phone as your secondary machine. And then maybe you have a work computer. Maybe at work, they've set you up with a little work computer, right? Okay? And so maybe you've logged in on that too. So all of these things have passkeys. All of them have passkeys on them. They are individual to each one. So you're replacing your notepad with an old laptop? No, so here's the thing. What's cool is that you can additionally store a passkey on another device. Let's say like an old mobile phone, okay? Maybe it's even a flip phone with like dial pad. You know, like one of the really old phones. You could keep a passkey on that and then keep this passkey or this phone in your house, in a drawer somewhere. And you could do that. You could do that and keep this device offline effectively. So if you ever lose the passkey for any of these devices, you could just go to your fallback device. I'm thinking I could put mine in a safe, but I don't need to do that. I use a hardware. I use hardware tokens. So is this an improvement, Ginny? That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know if this is an improvement. Let's see what happens. Let's put it that way. Let's see what happens. Let's see if passkeys make things better. The one thing that it will solve is people using weak passwords. That's the main thing it's going to kill, is no one will have a weak password anymore because they don't remember them. By default, in this new system, everyone will have a very, very, very secure password for the services that they use. It's hashed per default. Yes, exactly. So I think it will stop a lot of breaches. I'm not too deep in the cybersecurity thing, but I think it will stop a lot of breaches causing real damage. I mean, it won't stop the breach itself. It will just stop the breach having such dire consequences for people. And it will stop password sharing. It will stop people using the same password across 120 different accounts. And then when one of those sites gets breached and the password leaks, that all 120 of their sites are compromised, it's going to stop that from happening. So that's, overall, I think that's a net positive. What do you think, chat? I mean, do you see this being a thing? I mean, people said, as you said before, the breach is going to happen and people are going to try and sit on that data until they can crack the password. See, this is the thing, Ginny. From what I understand, if you crack a database that has this passkeys principle, if it's not Google, the intermediaries don't have the actual passkey. They only have like some kind of hash, which doesn't do anything for you. It only gives access to that service. Maybe even not. It depends on how it's set up, of course. I think ultimately it is a better tech. I mean, they wouldn't adopt it if it wasn't. Like, there's enough smart people working at Google that they can figure out that this is like a net positive or not. But as you say, the more secure people think they are, the less likely they are to actually go through all of their passwords and change them, which is probably why we just have to force it, to be honest. So as I explained, we have several sections, and this section was the privacy and ethics section. And now we are jumping into the hardware/IRL section with another update from Google, this time about the authenticator. So I kind of divided this. I don't know why I did that, but passwords belongs to privacy and Google Authenticator belongs to this section for whatever reason. So Google Authenticator now supports account synchronization. However, before you go and start backing up your two-factor authentication codes, first of all, yeah, maybe we're going towards passkeys anyway, and that's probably why they've done this. But someone has shown that this backup that's sent to Google is not end-to-end encrypted. So if you're not on a secure network at one point, when you're looking up your 2FA codes, it is technically possible to have an attack from someone in the middle, man in the middle or woman in the middle. Person in the middle attack. So just be aware of that when updating this app. I don't think it's a real threat for most people if you're on your own network at home. I don't think this is a threat problem. But if you're on public networks, if you're at Starbucks, if you're whatever, and this thing decides to back up, in theory, someone could get the codes. Sorry, not the codes themselves, but the hash, right? That would allow them to generate codes for your account, apparently. I don't have the link here, but that's basically the gist of it. So, speaking of phones, I found this article. Imagine the US gets mad at the whole world, and when something like this has been in place for a few years, Google and Apple just shut it down for everyone outside the US. How would they do that? Forex. I mean, it's a funny thought. It's a funny thought to entertain. I just don't know practically how they would turn something off for people outside the US. If they start using tech based off of like network nodes and stuff, there'll be a ton of people in the border regions that will be unaffected. Maybe they don't care about that, but out of principle, right? And I don't know, like they would have to track people's location like distinctly enough to do that. And then if someone's using like a VPN, would that stop it from happening? I don't know. I mean, Google controls a lot of network infrastructure as well. I don't know enough about that topic to know what the real outcome would be, but it's an interesting thought experiment for sure. I mean, the centralization of this kind of technology is anyway quite dangerous. You're right. It is a huge risk having a very small amount of companies that are profit-driven companies control major sections of the internet's architecture. So yeah, that's a problem. What's also a problem is car theft. But not just wire hanger into the window, pulling up the door lock car theft. Super advanced carjacking, car theft, using old Nokia phones and Bluetooth speakers. So let's read a little bit about this. I'm going to read this to you, chat. A man sitting in the driver's seat of a Toyota is repeatedly tapping a button next to the steering wheel. A red light flashes. No luck. The engine won't start. He doesn't have the key. In response, the man pulls up an unusual tool. a Nokia 3310. The man plugs the phone into the car using a black cable. He then flicks through some options on the 3310's tiny LCD screen. Connect, get data, the screen says. He then tries to start the car again. The light turns green and the engine roars. Hello, are you still working on the sequel course? Han Sohai, welcome back to the chat. I am not working on the sequel course. If you're referring to the 30 days of sequel that I did back in January. No, we completed that. That was a campaign run in January, if that's what you're referring to. If you're referring to something else, Han, then maybe. I will be launching something very soon, actually. But I can't talk about it yet. It is under wraps. It's a thing I have to deal with a lot in IoT, where companies need local breakout of data traffic to ensure data sovereignty, i.e. we have customers that demand their data cannot enter the USA, cannot even traverse it. Yes, Ginny, that's very true. Let's watch the video. Should we watch the video, chat? Let's watch the video. So apparently it's that easy to steal a car. This under 30-second clip.
Why?
30-second clip shows a new breed of car theft that is spreading across the US. Criminals use tiny devices, sometimes hidden inside innocuous-looking Bluetooth speakers or mobile phones, to interfere with the vehicle's control system. This allows thieves with very little technical experience to steal cars without needing the key, sometimes in just 15 seconds or so. With the devices available to buy online for a few $1,000s, the barrier of entry for stealing even high-end luxury cars is dramatically reduced. The question is, why use straight Flipper Zero or something similar, but without the limitations that Flipper has? I've heard of that device. I don't know too much about it, though. JBL Unlock Plus Start, one ad for a device hidden inside a JBL branded Bluetooth speaker says, no key needed. The ad states that this specific device works on a variety of Toyota and Lexus cars. Our device has a cool, stealthy style and look. The device does all the work for them. All they have to do is take two wires from the device, detach the headlight, and stuff the wires into the right holes in the vehicle side of the connector. When it comes to vehicle owners protecting themselves from this sort of threat, there's nothing simple consumers can do. And that is the terrifying part of this, is you cannot protect yourself against this. So this is a big problem. Motherboard posed as an interested customer to one person offering to sell engine starters online. The person said they would ship a device to the US via DHL. Yes, Nokia works with USA cars. They referred to the engine starter hidden inside a Nokia phone. The seller said they take Western Union, MoneyGram, or bank transfers and cryptocurrency. They added that the process of starting the engine takes around 10 to 15 seconds. All they have to do is detach a headlight. Have they tried doing that on a modern car? The last time I wanted to change a headlight, I had to take the whole front bumper off. Yes, that's true. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know the limitations of this. But yeah, this works very quickly for those vehicles that are, you know, that are listed on their site. And apparently no one's really talking about it. So Motherboard, which they're a pretty big publication, they're under Vice, right? They've contacted a lot of car manufacturers like BMW and Toyota to try and get some kind of real statement from them. And BMW didn't respond. All that Toyota said is that vehicle theft is an industry-wide challenge that Toyota takes seriously. Even with advances in technology, thieves reportedly are devising ways to circumvent existing anti-theft systems. We are committed to continuing to work on this issue with theft prevention. I mean, it's just some standard corporate blah blah. So this is kind of nuts. But I suppose people are always pretty ingenious to try and find ways to steal stuff. Here's another one. Are any of you traveling anytime soon? Because I have a warning for you. If you are traveling anytime soon and you're going to be in an airport or a hotel, do not.
Why?
We will not be doing 30 days of NoSQL. Do not plug your data cable.
Garbage.
Do not plug your data cable directly into data outlets like this one shown here. Okay, that's a terrible... Like that one. Okay? The reason is to not plug the USB cable in because USB transfers two things, power and data. And what people have started doing, bad actors have started figuring out ways to put malware inside public USB ports to introduce monitoring software on stuff onto your phone. The reason is because by default, I had to explicitly set the data option on my Android phone. Yes, I don't think it applies to all devices. I don't think it applies to all devices, but this is like the standard thing. It's been pretty common for a while, Ginny, that it exists, but it's fairly new now that this is happening at scale in airports and hotels, especially in the US, of course. I mean, when we talk about this stuff, it's always the US. I'm sorry, but it just really is a problem that all of these things seem to originate in the United States. And yes, there are special cables you can get called USB condoms that don't transmit data. They only transmit charging. The best thing to do is just plug in to the actual power port. So the one here. No, sorry. That doesn't work. This one. That's the best thing to do, is actually plug a charger in if you want to be 100% safe. Basically, if you get infected on your device, then you are at risk of these like really nasty malware, and they can track keystrokes and they can add you to a botnet and all really bad stuff. Does this still work if you plug in via a battery pack? I don't know actually, Ginny. You can also buy data blockers, which block data transfer, and you can keep using your original cables. Yes, that's very true, techie girl. You can buy a data blocker for your phone, and you can use the original cable still. The first time I flew to China, I cleaned up my whole phone and didn't have anything remotely problematic on it. I didn't even do that anymore. I wouldn't know what the recommendations are for, for traveling to China, because I've never been. So Ginny, in regard to your question, the risk of getting juice jacked, by the way, it's a horrible phrase, has recently grown for two reasons. First, the kind of cyber attack now has a higher return on investment because the data that they get is worth so much money, and the whole criminal data industry is so massive now. So it's just a better investment. And it is so easy now to do this, to actually rig the public ports so that they're that easy. You can even buy ready-made cables. You can buy ready-made cables that allow you to do this. So yeah, that's simple. That's simple. In Instead of using a public USB port, get a power bank. Power banks are safe and convenient. Using a portable charger means you never have to use a public USB port. Use a USB data blocker. Techie girl, very nice. Here's the data blocker. Inexpensive device that looks like a thumb drive. They plug directly into USB ports, acting as a shield. It's long been known as a USB condom. But because it has negative connotations, it's now being called a data blocker. Why does condom have a negative connotation? Condoms are great. Allows people to have protected intercourse. The recommendations are life is short. Never use unknown charging cables and restrict yourself to power sockets. So if you absolutely must charge your phone in public, you can just use a power outlet. Yay! So I'm going to be traveling a bit over the next few months, just little trips here and there, including TwitchCon in July in Paris. I will definitely be heeding this advice. If everyone uses condoms, the insurance company won't make so much money forcing everyone to test for STIs every time. That's true, Ginny. That's true. But I guess the systems are a little bit different in each country too, right? This bottle is smaller and I've already run out of water again. What a shame. Another great thing, because we're in the IRL category still, about hardware. Everyone knows about the what's it called? Boston Dynamics. Yeah, Boston Dynamics, the robot dogs. You've probably seen them before. I would probably rather tell my kid flying alone to take a data blocker than a USB condom. Fair enough, Wilder. I understand. Depending how old your child is, it's maybe inappropriate. It's fair. So, this is fun. Does anyone remember the dog from Boston Dynamics? Do I have dog emotes? Oh, I do. They put ChatGPT into one of these robot dogs. If they're old enough to fly alone, they're old enough to learn about condoms. They could be unaccompanied minor though, Ginny. So me and my brother, we used to fly unaccompanied minor, UM, where the flight attendants basically take care of you. We were like pretty young. So I think, yeah, I don't know what the system is like now for allowing kids to fly, if that still exists. My friend sends her 4 to 5-year-old to see her dad across the country. Yeah, exactly. So I guess it's a question of what flying alone means, right? I don't think alone as in, like, okay, we're not going to debate like at what age you should tell your kids about the talk, because like it's not a discussion we're going to have, Chad. But yeah, I fundamentally, I know where you're coming from, Ginny. So robotic dogs weren't creepy enough. So now they combined the Boston Dynamics robot dog with ChatGPT. And then they gave it a text-to-speech voice modulation, allowing you to talk to the dog. And this is exactly what you think it is, Chad.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. We use ChatGPT to query information, and the user can ask natural questions.
I was just wondering if I could dictate to it to say something specifically. What is your battery level?
Battery level is currently at 53%.
What is the voice coming from?
It's a Google text-to-speech.
We give the JSON to ChatGPT and explain what the structure is and how to read that JSON. Now ChatGPT can answer questions about that JSON.
But how many inspections in your next mission?
My next mission involves 20 inspections.
Okay. All right, let's do the program on.
You're going to say, describe your next mission, right? In the context, it's going to have to be like next mission location.
Correct.
Or something like
Or
that.
last mission. That should be pretty simple to do.
The last mission was Route 66. It lasted 30 minutes and there were 2 thermal anomalies detected.
There's 2 messages.
2 thermal anomalies detected. You see, the robots are referring to humans as anomalies. I think we should already be very afraid that the tiny robot dog is referring to us as a thermal anomaly. I'm a little bit afraid by that. Yeah. So this is a little bit creepy. Yeah. You're less afraid, Ginny. You're less afraid. Why are you less afraid? Because it's more personable than before, where you didn't know about what it was thinking. I mean, it's not really what it's thinking, but that means it hasn't learned how to identify humans by their thermal signatures yet without being programmed to do so. Yes, I suppose that's true. We haven't been identified yet as a thermal signature. It's the day we get detected as thermal signatures distinctly that we should be more concerned, I guess. Speaking of thermal, or heat, I should say, this is really wild. So I don't know, how many of you own an electric vehicle? Do any of you have an electric vehicle? Does anyone have that? Because I have a combustion engine car. I got my car 2 years ago. Back when I got my car, it was not ready. The network here was not ready to be electric. But the challenge for me has always been about range. And I know I had this discussion recently with someone that the range discussion with EV is not the same range discussion that you have with petrol, because with a combustion engine, the range discussion has always been, you drive, what's your range? Oh, my range is, 750, 800 kilometers. And so typically when we drive in a combustion engine, we drive for an hour and a half, 2 hours, then we stop and we get something to eat, and then we drive again for another 2 hours. And then eventually we get to like 600 kilometers and we have to refuel or something like that. With an EV, because there's constant charging ability, in the sense that you stop somewhere after an hour for 10 minutes, you top up. Then you do another hour, then you top up again. Then you do another hour, you top up again. Because of the speed of charging, you never have to worry about actually running out of range, because you'll get tired before you need to stop driving. And so the whole range discussion is very different. But yeah, an electric vehicle is still a challenge for pulling a trailer and stuff like that. It requires more torque, and that drains the battery a lot and stuff like that. So this is really interesting because Sweden is building a electrified road that you can charge while driving. And that's kind of crazy that you don't need to pull over to charge the car. Forex had your first electric car and motorcycle 15 years ago. An electric motorcycle? 15 years ago. How's that possible? 20... Are you talking about like kids' toys? My first EV was a one-seater Ferrari, and the battery died as soon as you took it on grass. Yeah, I feel like that's a toy, wasn't it, Ginny? I feel like you're talking about a toy. Yeah, so this is kind of cool, but basically, how's this gonna work? I don't know. Let's find out. How long is this video? 2 minutes. Oh, this has...
What we see is that the heavy vehicles in Sweden...
Okay, we're just going to play music over this. So basically the idea is they have a problem with trucks. So they want to have a solution where trucks can... Yes, Sweden, J. Walter. They want to have a solution where trucks can dynamically charge, because trucks have like a range issue. And also with smaller cars, with smaller batteries. So if you had a smaller battery, then you could lower the price of electric vehicles, which would increase the share of people having electric vehicle, which would increase the transition, right? Electrifying only 25% of the road would be enough, apparently. So this is kind of what they're doing. They're basically building these like charging paths. I don't know what the maintenance is like. Like, what's the long-term maintenance on these things? My dad sold it to a guy who came to buy his Rolls Royce for more than the Rolls Royce. Very interesting. So yeah, the technology is pretty interesting. Conductive charging from below. The car had a range of about 70 kilometers. The motorcycle had a range of about 20 kilometers. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is how it works. Very interesting. Authorities aim to open the motorway to traffic by 2025. So in 2 years, we could already be driving on an electrified road, which is kind of nuts. Wow, that's kind of cool. Does it say where in Sweden? Let's see if it says. The charging method for E20 hasn't been... the chosen motorway, European route E20, connects logistic hubs between Hallsberg and Örebro, located in the middle of the country's 3 major cities, Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö. European route E20. Let's have a look. E20. Sweden. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. This road. Basically this road here between Örebro and Gothenburg. And Malmö is down here. So yeah, it's basically down here. Look up Hallsberg. Yeah. Hallsberg. Is that where you are, J. Walter? Are you in Hallsberg? Yeah, that's pretty close. That's exactly where it is, yeah. It's exactly where it is. This route here. That's pretty cool. That's a very large... That's a very large road. Aha, it was mentioned in the article. Okay. All right, so that's very cool. Along a 2-kilometer long stretch, an electrical rail has been milled into the asphalt on which electric trucks lower a moving arm that receives power. The inductive charging system uses special equipment buried underneath the road. The coil in the vehicle then uses that. In 2020, Trafikverket built a wireless electric road for heavy trucks and buses in the island city of Visby. Interesting. What kind of passwords do they like in Hallsberg? Asking for a friend. So this is focused on heavy vehicles, as I said, but they are looking at how to do it for private cars, right? Because that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Technology is still maturing. Study assumes certain conditions, but with enough development, they could reach such properties. The difference in battery range between these two types of residents could be up to 20%. With plans to have an expansion of a further 3,000 kilometers of electric road by 2045, Sweden has partnered with Germany and France to exchange experience through authority and research collaborations on electric roads. Very cool. Germany and Sweden have had demonstration facilities on public roads for several years, and France plans to procure a pilot section with an electric road. So this is a big deal, electric roads. I had no idea. Oh, there's another video here. How do I stop this? Hello? How do I stop this? Okay. So yeah, electric roads, chat. Things you find out on Twitch on Matty2Shoes' stream. Electric roads. Very cool. So let's get into some more data-related stuff. Let's open up the generative AI section of the news. Generative AI is all over the news. And here's a fun one. Everyone has been talking about ChatGPT. Everyone's been talking about ChatGPT. Yes, electric roads cost same as solar road, exactly. This is cool. So the company Databricks, I'm not sure if you're all familiar with Databricks. They are a data and AI platform. They have democratized ChatGPT with open models. So basically, the summary is, we show that anyone can take a dated, off-the-shelf, open-source language model and give it magical ChatGPT-like instruction following ability by training it in 30 minutes on one machine using high-quality training data. Surprisingly, instruction following does not seem to require the latest or largest models. Our model's only 6 billion parameters. GPT-3 is 175 billion, by the way. They open source the code for our model, Dolly, and they show how it can be recreated on Databricks. We believe models like Dolly will help democratize large language models, transforming them from something very few companies can afford into a commodity every company can own and customize to improve their products. Jay Walter, thank you for hanging out with us. Take care, and I will see you very soon. There will be no more streams this week from me due to the fact that Thursday I have an event in the evening, and on Friday I will be driving down to visit my parents for Mother's Day this weekend, and therefore there will be no more streams this week, but we will be back next Monday. So if you're thinking of heading out, just remember that I won't be online for the rest of this week. But you can hang out with us, of course, in the Discord. I will be here, hanging out, co-working, getting stuff done. There were quite a few people. Around. Yep, Wednesday should be in there. Tomorrow I'll be in the office, but Wednesday, Thursday, I should be hanging out in co-working. So basically, they introduced Dolly, which is a very cheap to build large language model that has a very, very similar behavior to ChatGPT. Very similar. So you can actually train this on Databricks yourself. It's a great chance to try out the platform if you want to. Not sponsored, by the way. So there's lots of cool stuff, and I think that's really great. And you can try it for free. So there's no reason why we shouldn't try and maybe train our own model someday. Maybe we could do our own model based off of the messages you send, chat. Maybe I could emulate some of you. Create a fake viewer. Create a fake chatter for the stream. And see what kind of stuff they would say. Could be kind of funny. Is it self-hosted or hosted by Databricks? I think it's hosted by Databricks. I think if you look at their stuff, I think it's cloud hosted. But there are self-hosted solutions for these large language models. Like, for example, the open source ChatGPT rival that was just launched by the Stable Diffusion team. So I got you, Ginny, don't worry. Stable Diffusion was made by a company called Stability AI. They have launched Stable LM, which is a smaller and more efficient solution. So it uses 3 billion to 7 billion parameters, which is much, much, much smaller than ChatGPT. And now you can actually get this open source version of Stable LM, and you can basically run it on your own because it's on GitHub. Here you go. All Stable LM models are hosted on Hugging Face. You can check out this notebook to run inference with limited GPU capabilities. You can do all these things yourself. Exempt. Delega. Thank you very much for following. welcome to the stream. Who are you? Where are you from? Let us know a little bit about yourself. I think I've actually been working on this one on and off. Oh, really? Yeah. So basically, you can use this one. It's open source, and you can run it on your local machine. And so I highly recommend to check it out if you're interested in doing that. I think that's a cool thing to do. What background is this? That's a bit strange. What kind of background is this, chat? Who did that? We can change the background if you like, chat. Speaking of Hugging Face, they also launched an open source version of ChatGPT. So they have launched a open source alternative to ChatGPT called Hugging Chat, which is a very cute name, let's be honest. Hugging Chat is a UI that allows it to interact with their assistant called Open Assistant. I think it was 4X you talked about Open Assistant last time. So yeah, there's a lot of open source work being done. There's a lot of open source work being done to try and democratize the access to this type of these types of large language models and the capabilities that they have, especially when they start tailoring them to your business or your use cases that you have, right? And on top of that, Stability AI also released Stable Vicuna, which is a RLHF large language model. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does RLHF stand for? Does anyone know the answer? Does anyone know what RLHF stands for? See, because there's a big distinction between standard large language models and RLHF large language models. Real llamas having fun. You're close, Ginny. Really large hugging face. Almost, Loka. Almost. You're getting very warm, though. Really likable, happy fellow. Yost, you're getting very close as well. So RLHF is a methodology called reinforcement learning through human feedback. Reinforcement learning through human feedback. Basically, reinforcement learning is about us helping to train the model, saying, yes, this is a good answer. No, this is not a good answer. Are you falling asleep, Yost? In most models, instruction fine-tuning is applied without real-life human feedback, reinforcement learning, because it is very complex to do it. So they're starting to bring out these data sets for reinforcement learning. And now there is a very, very big, large-scale large language model called Stable Vicuna. So you can basically ask it stuff just like ChatGPT. So if you go to Stable Vicuna, we can ask it stuff. Actually, I did realize that coming up with just the right prompt is a bit tricky. Let's ask it. When coming up with a prompt to ask you something, what would you say is really important to factor in to writing the prompt? Let's see what it says. It's thinking. It's thinking very hard, chat. Well, this is taking a long time. Open Assistant was good, but I ended up with the Vicuna model too. Yeah, I've been reading a little bit, and it is meant to be very good. I haven't really tried it a lot, but from the reading that I've done, it's meant to be very effective, yes. It's meant to be very, very effective. Okay, this is taking a long time. In any case, basically, there are benchmarks, right, of how well it performs compared to other ones, and it's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. The thing is that these cost way less money to develop, and they are also open source. So you have the chance to peek behind the hood. Hi, bad cop. Peek behind the hood or under the hood and actually understand more about how they work under there. And that's very important for developing this technology as a whole, because we need to understand the good and the bad sides about it. And we can only do that by really being able to peek inside the engine, if you will. I think we're going to change the music today, chat. I think we're going to go over to something a bit more retro. How are you doing today, Bad Cop? It's good to see you. So yeah, that is the news. It's still trying to answer our prompt. That is the news. In generative AI. You just woke up, Bad Cop. Meme of the day. I think you'll find it entertaining. I think you'll find it entertaining. The next section of news is about startups and technology in general, with the first article being a very, very unexpected feature launch. How many of you use Slack at your companies that you work for? Or maybe you have your own private Slack workspace for, I don't know what, for chatting with your parents. Do any of you have a family Slack? Are there families that use Slack? I don't. Yost, do you have Slack at your office or for your family? Do you have Slack for your family? I would love if I had Slack with my family. It would be pretty awesome. Discord better. See, the thing is, Bad Cop, Discord and Slack fulfill different niches. They have different niches. They have different positioning. I want to say no, but then I heard about the family that uses Jira to organize their day. Really? That's exactly what Slack wants you to think. No, I use both, Bad Cop. I use both Slack and Discord extensively, and I can tell you that they're different. I can tell you that they are very different. My family communicates only via Google Calendar. Hi, NotePass. Welcome to the stream. What do you mean only communicates with Google Calendar? Like if you want to tell your family something, like you're going to be home later for dinner, or you need them to bring the key to your apartment to college, you write, like you put a calendar invite? How does that work? It sounds so fascinating. You just add an appointment. For everything? You just add appointments for everything? That seems very interesting. Are you saying, hold on a second, NotePass. Are you saying everything can be boiled down to an appointment? Every discussion, every question can be boiled down to a Google Calendar appointment. I actually wonder if that's true. I actually really wonder if that's true. Because you have accept, decline, or suggest a different time. So that's so funny to think about. I never thought about doing that. But NotePass, I applaud you. I applaud you for only using that. Time-based things. There's still some other discussion. I might have added some overreaction for comedic effect. Fair enough, NotePass. But yeah, for time-based things, Google Calendar definitely makes sense. Yeah. Definitely. 2 D20s. A 4 and a... What's that, a 9? That's not bad. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back. Wow, that is terrifying. The filter you switch to at the end is the scariest. It's late. It's late. It took me a second to get that one. Oh, sir. What they've added is the ability to use this alias in a where clause and a group by clause and the having clause, which would normally not be possible, which is absolutely... Great. Wow. You ready?
Garbage.
Mach. Like Mach speed? It's fast. I will say that. That kind of makes that point a bit moot. I will save this.
Garbage.
Oh no! Oh no! Steffi, no! Oh no! Oh, that timing was very good that time. That time. For a really long time. Oh no. I see that chat has gone ham on Thor's hammer again. T. Drayson has struck Yoast with Thor's hammer. Yikes. Well, when you want to learn, teach me again. I shall teach you again, Dr. Dynamite. How to stream. By showing you all the things not to do while streaming today. Hold on a second. I have to fix this differently.
Hello? Hold on, I'll get him. Matty, it's for you.
Thank you, Karen. Hello? Yes? Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second, I need to mute the music. Yes? Oh, wow. XCG got a 20 on the D20 roll? That's very impressive, Karen. Thank you for telling me. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, bye. Love you too, bye. Yes. Well, that was a very interesting phone call from Karen. Thanks for getting that for me, Surly. Appreciate it. We're not starting right away. You know, there's always like 20 minutes of blah blah in the beginning, so no stress. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Yeah, exactly. I'm immune. What's the cooldown on the time warp? I forget. Hello? Welcome back, chat. Thank you very much, NotePass, for the subscription. I missed the alert. I'm going to replay it. I want to hear it again. Thank you, NotePass. You also love buns. Well, then you are in luck. Because we have two huge floofs named Ben and Jerry. And you can use the commands Ben and Jerry to find out more about our two little buns. Our two Lop brothers, who are very cute and very friendly towards us, but also a little bit mischievous. they also like to try and discover things. And yes, you can use the emotes, long bunny emotes, to make a very long bunny in chat. I think 17 sections is like the longest bunny that you can do. So yeah, thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Enjoy the emotes and ad-free viewing. Of course, we just had ads running, so you were able to ignore those, I believe. Let's get back to this article about Canvas. Slack's new feature. Mine once got hold of the food bucket and ate 2 kilos of pellets overnight. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that's a lot. 3 bunnies. Oh, they must have gotten so fat. Yeah, they must have gotten so fat. Wow, yeah. They go ham. They go seriously ham on pellets. We keep the pellets in the kitchen, so that doesn't happen. The only thing we keep in the bunny room is actually the hay bag. Everything else is outside. They have their own room, as you saw from the webcam. So Slack has launched Canvas, which is like a Docs app, but it's not like Google Docs. That's the thing. It's basically like Google Docs, but it's within Slack itself. It's a little bit more like maybe Miro, I guess. What's fun is you can put canvases inside canvases. So you could technically stick canvas inside a canvas, inside a canvas, inside a canvas, inside a canvas. I don't know how deep it can go. Maybe there's like multiple layers possible. This is what it looks like. I think it's pretty nifty, to be honest with you. Like, for example, like an onboarding thing, I could see it being nice to have that in Slack, right? Like you have like maybe you have like one canvas, which is like a thing per team, and then you could include them in the canvases. Like, I think that could be very cool for larger companies. Basically just documents filled with Slack stuff, which is nice, right? Because they can like check off stuff and tag people and everything. I think it's pretty nice. So yeah, I think it's going to be useful for, as they say here in the article, replacing bookmarks and pins and stuff like that. So instead of having saved messages and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Slack looks like a messaging app and acts like a messaging app, but it has never really been just a messaging app. That's basically the gist of why Discord and Slack are different. Looking too much like one has made it harder to use Slack as a persistent place to store information. Canvases won't take over your document workflows anytime soon, but they look like a great place to put stuff that you'll be able to find again. JD Does Dev. Hey, yo, checking out the stream. I think I saw you on one of the Discords. Nice to see dev-related stuff and not just game dev. Thank you, JD. You might have been in the Claw Discord. That's the one I tend to hang out in the most. The Claw is also my stream team. That's why I'm basically sharing that Discord, because we're all part of one community. I'm not a big fan of like creating separate Discord servers for every single stream. I don't think that really makes sense, to be honest with you. So yeah, welcome on, JD. Good to see you. So today is the Data Cafe. Normally it would be a Friday segment, but this week, Thursday, Friday, I'm not doing any streams because I'll be away. So we're doing it today instead. You mean I don't need 235 different Discord servers? No, you do not need 235 Discord servers. Are you actually in 235 Discord servers? Because then you have Nitro, right? Something that allows you to be in like a gazillion servers. Oddly specific, isn't it? It is very specific. I have 5. Oh, hyperbole. Okay. I have 5 Discord servers. Yeah, I have 5, and that's my limit. If I want to join a new one, I would have to leave one of the ones that I'm in. So I would think about it very carefully. Forex has 20. Yos is on 35. I would actually be very curious to know, what is the average Discord server count per user? And how many of them do people actively chat in? Because my suspicion is 3 to 5. My suspicion is people only actually talk in 3 to 5 servers. Thank you for the follow, JD. Appreciate it. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That describes my stream super well. Like, to the letter. Ginny has more Discord servers than you're interested in counting. Speaking of counting, 100 plus servers, but they only actively talk in 2 to 5. You see? That's what I'm saying. I don't think you should have more than 5 because, like, it doesn't matter. You're active in 4 to 5 depending on the day. Most, though, are very need specific. So there's an article here, and unfortunately it is behind a paywall, so I forgot to archive PH it. But basically, this is very interesting because most of the generative AI, so we're in the generative AI section of the show, most of the generative AI relies on Leon. Leon is a central database of 5 billion images. And basically this database has been the source of generative AI models. And it's a high school teacher in Germany who has created a large-scale AI open network database. It's a passion project. Oh, I actively chat in 3 to 4 depending on which Discord I use for coding support on any given week. Yep. So Ginny, you're in all of these 100 plus Discord servers muted. What's the added value? That's the question for me. Like, I'm not questioning the decision. You can be in as many servers as you want. What I really wonder is, what's the value to you to be in servers that are muted, that you never look at? Or do you look at them regularly? Do you have like a slot Friday morning where you spend like 2 hours going through muted Discord servers reading messages? Like that's really interesting from a user behavior standpoint. I would love to know if that's true, if you do that. But yeah. So basically, this article in summary is about the fact that if this high school teacher decides to shut down this database, then there would be a problem. And the second is, how do you regulate this? How do you regulate something so large and so wildly popular now? It's very difficult, especially when it's free, right? The muting is needed because the default notification settings are nuts. Yes, I agree. Say that I'm working on a Gatsby project. I become more active in the Gatsby JS Discord. If I'm trying to get some tips on installing virtual pinball tables, then I'll be a bit more active on the virtual pinball Discords. Okay. Ginny says, I didn't say I never look at them, but yeah, a good few of them I only go into when something big happens that triggers a go look at this server. Very interesting. Interesting. Hi, Ian. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Always lovely to have you here, Ian. Something a bit more easy to understand and simple. iOS 17 is coming out very soon. And apparently it is going to feature some health-related features, like a mood tracker. No more mood ring for you, iOS people. You can get rid of your mood rings. You can now start to track your mood. I like to have Dax tell me I'm crazy for using Prisma in a mono repo with SST every few months in their Discord. Fair enough, Yost. I only understood like a third of that. Or like when doing certain group content in World of Warcraft that has people who belong to a Discord server that I don't care about the text content of, but join for the voice comms during the game. Okay. So very specific things. And rather than leaving the server every time, you just stay in it but mute the server. Interesting. I think there would be potential for Discord to have a feature where you're not actually in the server, but you can join a voice channel without actually being part of the server in order to be able to do stuff like that. It could be like an acquisition thing for servers or something. Anyway, so apparently with iOS 17, the health app would give users more real estate for looking at health metrics, like electrocardiogram results, prescriptions, lab tests from doctors, and more. Apple's aim is to improve the popularity of the health app in healthcare settings where tablets are widely used. That would require people sharing invite links all the time, which is the problem that I'm already trying to solve by not leaving the server. It's free real estate! Exactly. In addition to bringing the health app to the iPad, Apple plans to introduce a new emotion tracker, which will let users keep track of their mood, answer questions about their day, and view the results over time. Should I build a stream emotion tracker then for my iPad that I use, this one, that I can draw on? Should I build a thing that I can track my mood on my iPad so that we could correlate mood swings during streams with what was happening on the stream? Can you imagine building something like that? In the future, algorithms could be used to determine a user's mood through their speech patterns, what they've typed, and other data, but Apple will start with mood tracking. It's kind of cool. I think it's pretty interesting that they're adding that. The mood tracking function will be separate from the journaling app that was rumored last week. A journaling app? I didn't hear anything about that. According to Gurman, the journaling app will not be a health feature, but instead serve as an extension of the Find My service, as Apple wants to expand the social networking capabilities of Find My. Why? Why do they want to do that? Why does Apple want to expand social networking capabilities of Find My device? Why? Why would they want to do that? Isn't this for like finding stuff? Why would you? I don't understand. Why would Apple want to do that, chat? It doesn't make any sense to me. The health app is set to gain new features for managing vision conditions like nearsightedness. And apparently Apple is working on an AR/VR headset, belongs more in the hardware thing, but okay, that will include a meditation app, apparently, that will walk users through calming meditations. That's going to make all of the meditation apps a bit nervous. That's going to make them very nervous. And apparently next year, Apple is going to expand with a health coaching service, an AI-based service that will help encourage users to exercise, improve their eating habits, and take steps to improve their sleep. The service will use data from the Apple Watch to make personalized suggestions and create tailored coaching programs. That's kind of cool. Very cool. Other major future health plans include blood pressure monitoring for the Apple Watch and non-invasive glucose monitoring, both functions that Apple has been working on for many years. So it seems that Apple, and this is why I included this article, it seems that Apple has decided all of these health apps in the App Store, Headspace, Calm, all of the meditation apps, all of the, glucose tracker, food tracker, all of those apps, Apple is saying, you're going to get wrecked by us because we are going to bring out these features natively to iOS and everyone is going to cancel your apps. It seems that Apple has basically declared war on all of those health, mood related types of apps. To me, this is what it seems like. This kind of announcement is like Apple is investing heavily into this. It's very obvious. So that's kind of interesting. And chat broke again because no one said anything. Or is it just normal? Maybe, but this is expected. It's what Amazon does already. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Surely nothing like the flashlight app will happen. Yeah, the flashlight app. I can't believe people download apps for flashlights. I just... Also, a lot of them have malware in them, by the way. A lot of people use... It's just... Lyrica, hi! Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Thanks for the follow. Influx Data has released InfluxDB 3.0, which is apparently amazing for time series. So I had never heard of this database before. InfluxDB. Has anyone ever heard of InfluxDB? I have not ever heard of InfluxDB. And they've been around since 2012. They've been around for over 10 years. And they've been developing, not just any database, an open source time series database. And what's cool is it's written in Go, which is kind of interesting. I don't know much about Go at all. There's a couple of people on Twitch who stream. Bash Bunny, I believe, knows Go. A time series database by definition is focused on the core task of keeping track of time-stamped data over time, which is useful across a broad range of use cases. Are they the ones behind acid reflux? I don't think so. Earlier on iOS, there was not this app, and the guy was selling it for $5 until Apple added it to iOS and his app was deleted. Yeah, but he made good money for a while, right? He made good money for a while. It's a little bit like the candle blowing app, right? It's a little bit like the candle blowing app. You can blow out candles. You can blow out candles with this app. Where is it? This one. There's this app that blows out, it blows air. It doesn't actually blow air, by the way. It uses sound waves to produce air through the speaker. But the thing is, it can blow out birthday candles. It's kind of nifty, but like, how long before Apple brings out a feature natively in iOS to blow out birthday candles? I don't know. Anyway, the storage engine for InfluxDB is code that was formerly referred to as InfluxDB IOX and is written in Rust. I was just thinking that, but it seems like a pretty cool app, to be honest, from a development standpoint and a research standpoint. Yeah. The app is super interesting. I heard about it like 2 days ago. It's pretty interesting. The storage engine isn't the only part of the database written in Rust. It must be blazingly fast. Blazingly fast then. It's one of the biggest changes we had from core technology. Blah, blah, blah. 2.5 years? What? They've been writing a database for 2.5 years? Wow. Why did they need a new time series engine? Blah, blah, blah. Real-time analytics, yes. Here's we go. Among the challenges was the ability to address the need for infinite cardinality. This is the ability of a database column to contain an unlimited number of unique values, which requires a storage and query engine that can scale in a way that InfluxDB could not prior to version 3. So infinite cardinality is necessary because time runs forever. So you need the ability to store a column that can have any time value. And of course, if you increment a time value so small, if you have a time series database and you're storing, for example, every millisecond, think of how many rows that becomes. Think of how many rows that becomes. How many rows of data would I need to store a timestamp since the beginning of Unix time until today with a cardinality of, true, we don't need milliseconds, we need NS, nanoseconds. Blah, blah, blah. To store a timestamp since the beginning of Unix time until today with a cardinality of nanoseconds is oh my god, how big is this number? How big is this number? Assuming we are using a database system that stores timestamps as a 64-bit integer, and we are only storing the timestamp, each row would be 8 bytes in size. So this would be this many rows. No, that's not correct. This is how many rows it would be. If each row is 1 nanosecond, this many rows. Let's have Karen read it out. Karen, how many rows is this? This is this many rows.
This is 1,668,745,600,000,000,000 rows.
Wow. Thank you, Karen. Okay, TTS is actually useful for reading out numbers. Large numbers. Wow, that is a lot of rows. So you can kind of see the point of having something like this that has infinite cardinality. With InfluxDB 3.0, there's also a data format change. Previously, InfluxDB used a time series data format that wasn't particularly good. With InfluxDB 3.0, they are now using Parquet. Has anyone here ever worked with a Parquet file? I've worked with Parquet files once before, and it's kind of interesting how they work. They're basically highly, highly compressed version of JSON. That's my understanding of Parquet. Very efficient, very efficient. Rust in a database is a good thing. I mean, you wouldn't want Rust normally. Kara, I have. Great for OLAP. That's what I've heard. Can you show an example? Sure. I read about that format the other week. So here is an example of both. No, that's a terrible example. Are there no examples? Seriously? Well, everyone knows what a Everyone knows what a JSON file looks like. Why is it so difficult to find a Parquet file? Seriously? This is so difficult. User data. Ah, here we go. View raw. Oh, it downloaded it. It downloaded it. I don't know if I can actually... I don't know if I have a Parquet viewer. Sublime Text might actually open it for me. Yeah, it's not human readable, but basically binary compressed columnar layout. Obviously, Sublime is not doing very well. You can't read this. Is there a package manager for Parquet? Install package control. Package control. Discover packages. Hold on. Go back. Where's Sublime?
Why?
Package control. Install package.
Why?
Parquet. Nice. There is a Parquet viewer. And people get upset with me when I say ask as a person, not Google. Okay, it's installed. Should we reopen it? Parquet tools not found. Make sure Python is in your path. And install with pip install Parquet tools. What? Excuse me, what? That worked? Okay, that's strange. I'm pretty... Okay, let's just ignore that for now. The point is that Parquet is highly efficient. Highly efficient. And so, yeah, that's basically why you would want to use it. It's a shame we can't actually see the Parquet file, but it's okay. Whatever. Highly efficient. I mean, there are Parquet viewers for VS Code and stuff, Ginny, as well. Presumably, I can just feed it JSON. So you can, there are conversion methods for JSON to Parquet file, of course. There are engines for doing that. We were doing it like this. So actually we had, can actually just do like this. Can someone put a whiteboard background for me on stream? So we had a Google Cloud instance. You can get a general idea also from the Apache Parquet file format implementation details. So we had cloud storage. I need a better background than green. That's good. So we had a cloud storage, which had Parquet files in it. And what we did is, so this was Google Cloud Storage. We did cloud storage, and then we put them into BigQuery as tables. And each table would explode the Parquet file. So you had Parquet files you had multiple Parquet files from daily activities. And so we would take multiple Parquet files, let's say like 2 to 3 per day, and we would aggregate them onto daily tables. And so you would have one daily table afterwards that you could query natively with SQL. Personally, I use polars to read in JSON and write out to Parquet. Interesting. I haven't used polars. I've been hearing very interesting things about polars. Apparently it is very fast. So yeah, that's about that. What software are you using to programmatically change your desktop wallpaper? Ha ha ha! Techie girl, I knew you would want to know. What if I told you it wasn't changing my desktop at all? What if I told you that my desktop is actually this color? And what if I told you that all I'm doing is chroma keying out this green color? And what if I told you that I'm adding a browser source over this section in OBS using a tool from Instafluff called Change the World? And I can never find it. It's so weird. I have to go to his here and then search for it. This is what you want, Techie girl, and anyone else interested. This uses a background command to go to Pexels via API. So you create an API key for Pexels. It's free to do. And then using the background command, it will fetch a background image for you from Pexels API. You get an API key, you add this as a browser source, you put your channel and your API key, and that's it. Easy peasy, easy as pie. So Techie girl, that is... My next thought is that it was a browser source, but you have a browser and a desktop and it looks real. Yes, that's right. So the settings required some level of tweaking. I will be very honest with you. It was not so easy to get right because you cannot just take standard green screen green. And the reason you can't do that is because if the monitor is in front of you, it will reflect green on your face. So I don't know if you see this. You can't really see the reflection, but this is a color that isn't really putting a green tint. I mean, it does add a slight green tint, but you don't notice it. So this is like the compromise of what color would add green tint, but it wouldn't be noticeable, but it's still green enough that you can chroma key it out. So that's basically the compromise. So you have to fiddle with it a little bit to the point where you can do it like this. But basically it allows chat to change my desktop background, which is kind of funny. It does have a downside though. It's not all roses. Let me show you what the downside is. Let me just show you. It's very simple. If you want to see the downside, all you have to do is open pages that have a lot of green in them. But that's why I have a toggle here that I can instantly turn it off if I need to, so that I can actually show something that I want to show as green on stream. It's just, it doesn't happen very often that I show green stuff. So, you know, it's like, it's funny. It's very funny. So yeah, a 40-minute write for a CSV in Pandas took 25 seconds in Polars for 90 million records. Wow, that is very fast. That is very fast indeed. Speaking of very fast, let's continue through the rest of the articles because it's already midnight. So, GM, the automaker, General Motors, they created an open source software protocol, which is really interesting because this is what people have been talking about for years, that this has to happen, that car brands need to start talking to each other in order to have better, fully automated driving in the future. So they have joined something called the Eclipse Foundation to underscore its commitment for more open communication standards between cars. The creation of its own open source software protocol as a starting point for other automakers and developers to create better software experiences. It's called the U protocol, not the Me protocol, the U protocol. And basically, it is an opportunity for all of the car brands to work together. Tell me they hired in a proper software house and didn't dev it themselves. I don't know. I don't know, actually. Let's read. Automaker, blah, blah, blah. Linux-based system will also be available to third-party developers who may want to create apps and other features for GM customers. If the auto industry has shown anything, it's that they suck at software dev. Yeah, that is very true. My Volkswagen car is case in point. The software in the car is horrible. I use Apple, Google Android Auto for navigating. GM's U protocol will serve as a starting point for those third-party developers. Like an API, the open source protocol is the communication protocol that enables software components to talk to each other, blah, blah, blah. GM is trying to standardize communication protocols, not the content that is being passed back and forth, most of which should be considered proprietary. After all, there's only so much sharing that can be allowed in a free market capitalistic system. We leave the topic of standardizing on data structures and what information is exchanged for a different contribution, maybe in a different context. There's a reason that Tesla is often called a tech company that also happens to sell cars. Yeah, because Tesla's software in their cars is pretty incredible. Very true. Speaking of incredible, I saw this post on LinkedIn a couple days ago, and I wanted to include it because I didn't know that there's already the next wave of AI. And they're not all generative, which is why they're not in the generative AI segment of the show, okay? These are various tech things. Top 10 AI extensions to supercharge your productivity. And I haven't used any of these, just FYI. It's just a list that I found. So Fireflies is a AI-powered intern that can record and transcribe meetings, summarize emails and documents, summarize YouTube videos, news articles, and more. SciSpace Copilot, which is how to understand complex research papers. AI PRM for ChatGPT, which is a way to get curated list of prompt templates for marketing, customer success, and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, this is used by over a million people already. There's a ChatGPT sidebar where you can get ChatGPT in your sidebar, of course. There's a plugin for Google Sheets and Docs. Compose AI, which automates your emails. Although, I mean, I don't write that much email, so it's not so useful for me. YouTube summary. Super long video, don't have time to watch. Just use this extension to get a summary of the key points in a video. I'm not sure I like this. As a creator myself, I'm not so sure I'm a fan of that. Team Smart is some kind of like brainstorming draft review thing. Prompt Genius is to find cool prompts. And Merlin, which is apparently you can do everything on a website with Merlin. So you can ask it to order a pizza for you, apparently. Which I have to try this one out because If you like click around if you have to click around a website or something, it'd be interesting to see if that actually works. Some car manufacturers want to cancel Apple Car and Android Auto. The reason is said to be poor user experience / vendor lock. Interesting. So you're saying them providing their shitty navigation software is not vendor lock-in? What are the key points? How does the AI know what you think is a key point? I have no idea. Really, I don't know. I have no idea. I've tried using ChatGPT for this, and quite often, even when I say I'm looking for these things, it misses what I would consider a key point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard, right? I don't know how it would know how to find... Maybe we should try this one out. GLASP. YouTube summary. Sure. Okay. Now what? YouTube and article summary. Default English. Prompt for summary. Summarize the following in 5 bullet points. Summary icon on web pages hidden. Okay, so now YouTube? How does it work? Now we go to YouTube and then what? So if I go to one of my videos, Hey there, it's transcript and summary. Ah, here it is. Okay, here it is. Transcript and summary. View AI summary. Oh, it's just auto prompting. It's just copy pasting. A YouTube video used IMDb data to find the best Christmas movies to watch. Movies with around 500 votes or more tend to have a higher rating. Different genres have vastly different average ratings, with averages between 6 and 7. To find the Christmassy movies, the video analyzed movie titles using a set of 50+ words and phrases related to Christmas. The best rated, most voted comedy Christmas movie is A Christmas Story, and the best rated, most voted drama Christmas movie is Christmas Carol, but the best Christmas movie is Die Hard. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't know because it only works with subtitles, and if you don't have subtitles, it doesn't work. Terribly stupid and dysfunctional. I mean, this is a digest of what happened in the video, but it's not the point of the video. You know what I mean? That's what it's missing. It's missing the point of the video. The point of the video is to teach people how to find patterns in data. But you never actually say that in the video. That's the thing. All of these language models can only interpret what they're hearing or reading. But it is cool that the transcript is in there and you get the gist of what they're talking about. You know? I was on that stream and that doesn't sum it up. Oh, were you there when we were exploring the data forex? I can't remember if you were there or not. Were you there for that? Yeah, I went off and did a lot of work on my own afterwards, but we did some of the exploration on stream. That's true. This was a fun video, actually. If any of you are wondering, so I do have a YouTube channel.
Like and subscribe. Bye.
I do have a YouTube channel. I don't have that many subscribers, but some of my shorts, are starting to pop off, which is fun. But yeah, I'm trying to produce a bit more content on YouTube because I think it will stay there forever, and it will be beneficial for it to be there. So yeah, for now, let's wait for the multimodal model GPT-4. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Could be useful, I guess, for copy paste, but not super, super interesting. Not not super interesting. So chat, we're in the last section. We are in the last section of the stream. And I realized that doing a data cafe on a Monday is a bit weird. But we have 3 articles to cover. 3 different sections, 3 articles. For most of you who have been here before, you know what's coming next. We have the 3 sections, Swiss news, Twitch highlight, and random pick. So for the Swiss news article, I have a wonderful, wonderful article with a video in it about how an electric excavator was airlifted to rebuild a cable car that James Bond used in the Swiss Alps. Classic stream sections where I say goodnight. I'm physically going to work tomorrow. So am I, Forex. Thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate it. So a electric excavator was airlifted onto a summit in the Swiss Alps to help rebuild one of the world's most iconic cable car routes, because diesel machines aren't up to the job. Now you might be wondering, why is that? Because diesel engines suffer from reduced efficiency, increased emissions, and major reliability issues at high altitudes. So they had to bring up an electric compact excavator. So one is about space, and second is the diesel engines themselves. So basically they had to tow up it had to be towed up by a snow groomer, piece by piece, to the station, which is at 2,600 meters. And then it was airlifted via helicopter to the Schildhorn summit. If you look closely, you can see it dangling beneath the helicopter in the photo below. Here's the helicopter, which is pretty cool. So now it is shifting and loading debris on the Schildhorn and transporting blasted material to the installation site. The excavator is charged with the Schildhorn's cable car power supply, which is 100% powered by clean hydropower generated in the Lauterbrunnen Valley, which is nearby, which is pretty cool. So I think we should watch a video of this thing, because I think that's pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, it's a great case for electric in the mountain.
Neubau der Schildhornbahn sind wir hier beauftragt worden, Aushubarbeiten und
This is a very Swiss accent, by the way.
Betonierarbeiten zu vollbringen. Der Bagger hat die Aufgabe, der gesprengte Fels, das Schuttmaterial wegzuräumen und zu verladen, weil wir eigentlich das Material nicht über die Kante liegen lassen dürfen, sondern wir müssen das Ganze an den vorbestimmten Ort transportieren. Wir haben uns überlegt, dass wir einen Bagger brauchen, den wir fliegen können. Das war eine Grundvoraussetzung. Das Gewicht durfte nicht zu groß sein und auch die Fläche. Wir arbeiten auf sehr engem Raum. Und dann war es auch wichtig, dass die Fläche nicht zu groß war, die wir bedecken. Und dann war diese 2,5 Tonnen Lösung eigentlich die beste Lösung für uns. In den Bergen haben wir das Problem, wenn wir mit Diesel arbeiten, dass wir Probleme haben, die Dieselmotoren zu starten aufgrund der Kälte und der dünnen Luft. Und da bietet sich natürlich eine elektrische Version an, weil die da keine Probleme hat. Zusätzlich ist es sicher die Nachhaltigkeit vom Ganzen und auch das Nicht-Vorhandensein der Abgase. Auch für die Leute, die da arbeiten, Dieselmotoren, die in der Höhe arbeiten, haben sehr starken Dieselrauch und das möchten wir unseren Arbeitern eigentlich nicht antun. Wir laden.
I didn't think about the emissions in the sense of like the thick smoke coming out of the engine. I never thought of that, but it's true.
Hier
absolutely.
Einerseits über die normale Energieversorgung, Steckdose und haben auch die Möglichkeit über ein Schnellladegerät, wenn wir mal den Notfall haben, das zu betreiben oder wieder zu laden, so muss ich das sagen. Es gibt keinen anderen Anbieter in dieser Gewichtsklasse und ich denke, das Produkt ist gut und zuverlässig.
Who thinks they got it for free from Volvo? I have a sneaking suspicion that they may have gotten the product for free. Just a small suspicion. Also, hi, Rockman. Good to see that you're still awake. The next item is from our good friend, Zach Bussey, with a Twitch highlight, a Twitch news item of the week. Golden Kappa hype trains. If some of you have been on Twitch for the last couple weeks, you may have seen a Golden Kappa hype train. So apparently, Twitch is making it semi-permanent, and a notification will let you know if the next hype train is a Golden Kappa variant. Now you may be asking yourself, what the heck is Golden Kappa? Well, Kappa is the very famous Kappa emote, which has its own lore and its own whole history, which we're not going to go into now. But what's crazy is they've decided to basically do an NFT version of something on Twitch. Hi, Davkind. Because if you get a Golden Kappa train, a hype train, then you can get one, and you are rewarded with the Golden Kappa, which is a very rare emote, or used to be a very rare emote. Stream Elements super hype. But here's the thing, Rugmat. You only get access to the Kappa emote for 24 hours. The emote is available to viewers who participate in a Golden Kappa hype train for 24 hours. Viewers can see the emote in their emote picker and can use it on any channel. Kappa cool indeed, Renato. I also like the Kappa Pride one. It's also pretty cool. But this is a bit of a scam. It's a bit of a scam. Let's be honest, chat. 24 hours? Why? Why have they decided that? Why have they said a temporary reward? It's just epic fail. Absolute epic fail on Twitch's part. I really don't agree with this. At all. I really do not agree with this. And Pirate Software, who's also a Twitch streamer in this software and game dev category, temporary rewards like this don't add a lot of value and interest for viewers. It's the same as removing an achievement from an MMORPG player. Seeing Twitch double down on a disappearing reward is really just lame all around. Lame is what we say, Twitch. And now what is not lame is the final article of today, which is not an article at all. It's actually a video. How many of you know about Google Analytics and the news about Google Analytics 4? So the news, to give you a summary, is Google's previous version of analytics called Universal Analytics, or now referred to as GA3, is being sunset, and it will not collect any data for you past July this year. And some people have criticized this decision by Google. I can tell you exactly why they're doing it, but it's not really relevant right now. But the basic thing is that they're forcing everyone onto GA4, and in many ways GA4 is not a full-fledged product. It has become a lot better recently, but back when they announced this, it was still very much a beta software. And so some agency 2 weeks ago released a video parodying a movie called Sunset, which is about the sunsetting of GA3. And I would like to watch this movie all together. We will go as full screen as possible to watch this. And let me just double check the volume here. I think it's okay. And we will watch this together, and that will be the crown prize of today's stream.
I knew this day would come. I just didn't know it would happen so fast.
Thank you, Rugman.
Dad? What's coming?
Sunset. No.
What?
Google is sunsetting Universal Analytics.
What's the difference between Universal Analytics and GA4?
No one knows. You have to manually check items off the setup assistant. Shouldn't it know if you did that step or not? Okay. I think I got it figured out.
Dad, it says Google's gonna automatically make you a GA4 property in March if you don't manually make one by then.
Wait, I already have a GA4 property. Does that mean it's not working?
Why do I have more session starts and page views?
Stay close. Why does it keep telling me I need to migrate my analytics if I already have a GA4 property? It says to reuse my existing tags, but what are the new triggers? It's sunset.
Dad, what was Google Reader?
Honestly, chat, this is so good. This is just... It's so good. It's so good. I love it. Obviously, if you don't know all the intricacies of Google Analytics. So the link will also be in my Patreon stream recap, which will come out sometime in the next few days. All the links of all the articles that we looked at here today will be in the Patreon stream recap. All these beautiful articles about different topics in data and tech, they will all be in the recap. Because that is basically the objective of the stream recap, is if you missed part of the stream, or if you couldn't make it to the stream, or if you want to just read and you want to get the links to all the stuff, then that's the easiest way to do it. And if you drop a follow, then you get it by email as well, which can be very useful. And with that, I think it is time, chat. It is time to call it a night, as it is already past midnight here. And with that, we have to think about who we are going to raid. Let's change up to the ending scene and say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Ginny. It is the end of the stream, but do stick around for the raid as we go visit someone else. Who are we going to visit? Let's see. I think it's fairly quiet, so we could visit various people. Who could we visit? Thank you, Renato. Thank you, everyone else, for being here. Oops, sorry. Audio on there. I think we're gonna go pay a visit to good friend of the stream. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Rugmat, all good suggestions, but we're gonna raid someone we haven't raided in a while. We're gonna go raid Acorn, creator of Funi and other very cool stuff. Acorn is very fun. I hope to see all of you next Monday. As I said, there will be no streams more this week, unfortunately. But I will be seeing all of you next Monday, hopefully, for a catch-up. A catch-up stream. Thank you, NotePass, for subscribing today. Thank you, Lyrica, JD, Exempt, and Phoenix for your follows as well. Everyone take care, and bye-bye. See you next time.